live.
Oh, we are live.
Yes.
Oh, I'm used to the picture being in the center.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
it's
okay.
still,
Now, will the comments come in on the far right or in the center?
there it goes.
There we go.
Yep.
Now, okay, now it looks a little familiar.
Oops, there you
Very,
go.
very good. All right. Let's see. So it's 5:59. I'm Chief Drew, and this is our chat with the Chief evening edition. So I got here a little bit early, and I had Kelly with me this afternoon. Sarah's with me today, and we'll just kind of be going through. We'll kind of follow the same format as before. One of the reasons we do these conversations for the last couple of years is just to have interaction with our community. Sometimes it's hard to get out to community meetings, a lot of different things going on. And Cameron, good to see you, buddy. Thank you. Good to have you on board, my friend. And thanks for the heads up about loud and clear. That's good. So one of the reasons our media relations staff has encouraged us to do these live conversations, I think it allows for citizens to ask questions, and it gives me a little bit of opportunity to share with you some things going on in the police department. We'll talk about things that I think are important that you all know and try to be open and transparent about. And then any questions that you have, I'll try to address. I try not to hurt. I don't want to get into any investigation and talk about anything that would hurt a case, but I'll try to be as open and transparent as I can. A couple of things I'll talk about is our year-end crime, where we're at, where we finished 2021 at, where we're looking at in 2022. I want to touch base and share with you a little bit about our recruiting. We'll talk about Sergeant Luce's memorial. Our staffing, we're starting to see some of the staffing issues I've seen in other jurisdictions start to affect us a little bit. We'll talk about our academy that's currently in and one starting, promotion ceremony, and some different things we have going on. I will apologize on the front end. If anyone sends in a post and I don't hit it, I'm going to do my very best. Sometimes it's still called Facebook, right? No?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes the posts come in and they start moving, and I'll miss one. And I don't mean to. So you can either resend it or I'll make sure we go back through. Sarah keeps me pretty good on track. So I apologize up front. So let me just hit a couple. Cameron, again, one of our young adult police commissioners, thank you for being on board tonight. Krista, good evening to you. Thank you for being here. And I appreciate that. Hello, good to see you. Or, well, yeah, good. Yeah, good. I think that's the right term. Joe, thank you, my friend. Man, I really appreciate it. That means a lot. We did this session earlier today from 12 to 1. We had some good interaction, some good questions, some good topics. So I appreciate everyone that joined in earlier, and I'm good. You know, my evening is free now, and I just wanted to spend it with you and share a little bit, and really kind of just talk to you and any questions that you might have, and some of the issues that we're facing in law enforcement, facing here in Newport News. I think it's some of the same challenges. I'll share with you a little bit of a timeline, what the rest of the month of January. I can't believe we're almost 2/3 through January already. It was just Christmas like 2 weeks ago, and Thanksgiving the week prior. So it's flying by. Today was like a blur. I mean, it was 100 miles an hour. We had the 3-day weekend. Share with you a little bit of what I did over the weekend and with Mayor Price and Sheriff Morgan, our community. Robin, thank you so much. Thanks for being here tonight. It means a lot to me. Thank you. So I'm just going to kind of get started. I'll hit on some of the topics. I'll try not to be too long on them. Again, it's just about sharing information, and then any question that comes through, we'll address and move forward. If we don't get a lot of interaction, I'll just kind of share with you and kind of where we're at, where we've been, and where we're headed, and some of the key issues that we're looking to move forward with and address in 2022. So first off, 2021. I'm glad it's over, right? I'm thankful for the year, but I'm glad. Let's put it behind us and move forward. The challenges we had with COVID and some of the issues. I'm ready for just a fresh start, right? A new year, and I'm really feeling energetic and motivated and very, very optimistic about some things we have. I know there's challenges, but I think we have some things set in place. We did some restructuring in 2021 that I'm really excited about. So I will tell you, I was in front of City Council at a work session. Was it last week? Maybe a week and a half ago, and shared with City Council what we look like over the last 5 or 6 years. You know, what is our crime trend? Are we up and down? Are we steadily going up? Are we steadily going down? So we looked at a 6-year snapshot. I looked at a brief presentation on our homicides, on our shootings, and on our overall crime. So just talking overall crime, if I went back the last 6 years, there's a steady decrease each year, significantly, 100 crimes, 150 crimes, 200 crimes. But in 2021, we had a bump. Looked like we followed the trend, the pattern pretty much like others across the country. We ended the year at about a 2% increase in crime. So yeah, when I look sort of around the national, what's going around the national numbers and national crime trends and patterns, we did have a bump from where we were last year. It still shows us below where we were 3, 4, 5 years ago, but that's not what we're trying to do. Our goal is to decrease crime every year in the city. So that's our goal. We've been having a good pattern, but we had a bump this year. I think some of it had to do with COVID. I think some of it had to do with people being back out. I think some of it had to do with some of the restrictions that we had, as officers also got hit with COVID and our staffing. And we didn't have the numbers in our academy that I would like to have had. And that's what's caused me a little bit of concern towards the end of the year, but I think we put things in place. And I have to really hats off to our recruiting division. For the academy that we have starting in January, it was supposed to start in December. But I really wanted 30 people in that class. And that helps us because you got to remember the academy is 6, 7 months long, and they get frustrated because I keep adding classes on, right? I keep adding training and de-escalation. Let's take a week out and work in the community. Let's take a week out and ride with officers. So my point with that, I'm going to get these questions, I promise. So my point with that is I wanted 30 officers in December. By the time I get through training, we're already in the beginning of August. But we were only hitting around 9 officers for that class. The recruiting division, we changed some things, and they have really fast forwarded. So today, when I left recruiting, we're looking at 25 to 27 in the class, and I'm going to have to now push that class probably to February 1. But that will give us. There's some things that I don't have. I want to increase those school resource officers. I got some divisions that need some detectives. But the backbone of the department is patrol, and I want to make sure that I don't go below a certain number of patrol. I want to make sure there's safety there, response times. When someone calls 911 and they call for the police, that we're responding. I want to keep us under that benchmark of time frame of where we need to respond. I think that's important. So the good news is we do have about 25 to 27 recruits that'll start the academy, and that's a good thing. One of the challenges is I believe this department, not comparing this to anyone else, but I believe this department has an excellent reputation in the state and in the federal system, certainly in this area. I say that because just over the last year and a half, Chief Randall has left here as the assistant chief and now is the chief in Pensacola, Florida. Chief Hudgens has left here and is now the chief of police in Pineville, North Carolina. And Chief Bullhurst, Captain Bullhurst, left here as a captain and is now the chief of police in Albemarle, North Carolina. That's 3 chiefs from our command staff in the last year and a half. And we've had some crime analysts that have been scooped up by the federal agencies. And just got word today that one of our, and I don't want to put anything out on media yet on his name, but he just got picked up by a major corporation to assist them in some of the investigative skills he has. And that's a big hit. I believe they come here and look at this organization, this department, for the stuff that we're doing, from some of the successes they've seen. And that's important. But those people with all that talent, when they leave, that's a hit. So it takes us a stumbling block. We take a step back, and we start rebuilding. So I just wanted to share that with you that, we're moving in the right direction, but we take some hits. We got to rebuild and continue. So I needed 30 in that class. We ended up with 25 or 27. We have a class of 13 that will graduate mid-March. So that'll help fill some gaps, but really the advancement will come in mid-August when this new class graduates. So that's very, very important. So we got Robin. Latoya, thank you so much for being here. You mean the world to me. Thank you. Kim, thank you. Good to see you this evening. Michael, Chief Drew, do you have a direct number I can reach you at? I have an issue you need help with. Michael, I'll tell you what, I think we can send a message to him directly. I'll be glad to do that. Jennifer, good to have you. Thank you so much. Wow, thank you for being here. Keith, you're back again this evening. Scroll down for me just a little bit. Just curious, after 2 deputy sheriffs committed suicide in St. Lucie, Florida, and 1 in Houston, Texas, last 3 weeks, what does NP offer its officers in dealing with mental illness? Keith, Kerry Cox, thank you, Kerry, for being here. I appreciate you. Keith, I'll tell you, um, it's funny, man. You threw me off, Keith. Meaning that you hit me. When I meet with new recruits that come into this organization, I talk to them. One of the things I talk to them about is I try to run this department like a family. We hold each other accountable. We don't always agree, but you become a valued member. You're not just a code number to me, sworn and civilian both. And I say that family part because I know what officers miss. I know what when they come in early, when they come in another day off, when they stay late, when they're stuck at hospital for someone that might be injured or some type of mental or physical evaluation. I know the things that they miss, the anniversaries, the ball games, the recitals, the birthdays, because they're serving this community. So it's important to me that people who join this department, sworn or civilian, they matter. They matter to me. So in going forward, we have done so much with promoting mental health in our officers, from podcast to making sure that our CISM team is continued to develop and bring in new members. We make that part of our training academy. We make that part of our in-service. And I will tell you, I think it's important, right? There's some divisions that we make mandatory for their well-being, that they see the department psychologist. And we now have, I use some grant funds, some money that about half of the department I can send to be evaluated, to just spend some time with a psychologist because I care about them. But there's still some stigma in police where, oh, you have to see the department psychologist. So to break those barriers, I was very open that about 3 weeks ago, right before Christmas, actually, myself and the 3 assistant chiefs, we had our annual visit with the department psychologist. And I started with myself. So I sit down with the doctor that we have on staff here, and he's been with our department for a while, and just to sit down and talk with him. And I put that out publicly, that myself and the 3 assistant chiefs, for a reason, that I want to get rid of that stigmatism, and it is a healthy thing. We do our physical every year to make sure that our ticker's working right and all the things are moving the way it should. But I also worry about here, what officers see and what they deal with. And then go home and get a good night's sleep or a good afternoon sleep, and then come back and deal with it again. And they serve this community, and they see some very, very tragic things. So I care about them. So I think it's setting the tone here, setting that atmosphere, promoting it, promoting health and wellness, the podcast that we've done, the CISM training, again, setting that atmosphere that it's okay. And I will tell you, any critical incident that we have, we'll respond to. We had a child death last year that we sent officers who went to that scene. Some situations we've had with youth, officers that have rendered first aid or immediate aid or first on the scene, we sent to see our psychologist. So it matters. And I think we're getting to the point where we're, even dispatching, right? The stuff that they hear, that they can't, they're listening to it. They don't get to see it until they're hearing it. I think it's important that we set that tone. And I hope that we're getting to a point where, I went to the scene that she's probably going to have me go, or that it's becoming routine. I also want to create an atmosphere where someone feels that they need help, they can ask for it. Or that supervision, or first line supervisors who interact most with our manpower, that if they see a behavior or a change or something they're concerned about, that they're able to call someone and been able to connect and have a conversation. And if they need to make a recommendation, so be it. But I care about the men and women who work here. I know what they go through. I know what they're exposed to, and that's why I appreciate them so much. I feel like we're a family. That's not covering for each other, it's looking out for each other and accountability to our community and our citizens to put the best physical and mental fit person on the street. So that's a great question, man. I tell you, I had the recruit class that's starting, they had orientation today, and I got to meet with them, and we found out that someone had experienced a death in their family, and we need to take care of him. And so that's a great question. Carrie, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. Misha, does every high school NPO have security? I mean, more than one officer. So the schools, we have a great relationship with our schools in Newport News. I actually just met with Dr. Parker and Rashard Wright last week, our school superintendents there, and their staff. We have really good rapport. We made some recommendations to each other. I think it's important to have an officer in the schools, and yes, each school does have security. I'd like to be there immediately when things happen, but I know there are security officers at each school, and I want to increase our SROs. I want to make sure that we're putting an officer at every school, and sometimes that gets challenging with staffing, shortages, court, but that's a critical part. So as we move forward, again, you just hit on one of the key issues. That's a great question of why I need 30 people in that class and why I really want 30 people in that class in January. Latoya. Wow, Latoya, thank you. I will tell you, it is an honor to work in this city. I love the citizens of Newport News. The youth of this city, I think, are some of the most talented people. I said it earlier, I'm going to say it now. Sometimes they drive me crazy. Um, but I think all of us had people that, or a lot of us had people that looked out for us. And I don't mean covered for us. I mean that, hey, look, you're doing this wrong. Let me help you. Hey, you know what? I just want you to know I care about you. I think some decisions that youth make today are because they feel that nobody cares. And I'm telling you, if I was talking to every high school student in this city, every middle school student, every elementary, I love you guys. You all matter to me. 28, 30 years ago when I raised my right hand, I wanted to make things different. I still do. That's why I still get up in the morning and I still think that putting on this uniform that we can make a difference. Um, so yeah, and I think that starts at the top. And I think this department is full of talent. I think it's full of people who care about other people. And we talk a lot about when the recruits come through the door and, what do you want? What are you looking for someone to join this department? I want people that can think outside the box, that are proactive, that are creative, innovative, right? That we don't want to do things just like we did in 1985, the same. Um, we'll teach people how to write reports. We'll teach them defensive tactics. We'll teach about policy and procedure. We'll teach about the law. I cannot teach someone how to care about somebody else. I can teach them the benefit. I can teach them how much easier it is on this job and how much rewarding they will see and benefit from it. But I can't teach that. So I'm looking for parents or mentors, faith leaders, teachers, uh, older brothers and sisters, military that have instilled those values in men and women coming to this agency to bring that with them. That's what I'm looking for people to join this department. So I appreciate that, but I'm very, very fortunate, very, very humbled to work with such talented people. And I see, the federal system or private entities, people advancing themselves, and I totally get that. If I were losing people to other police departments around, I would have some real concerns, but that's not what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is people branching out and advancing, and I get it. I get it. I do like the different entities look in this department for talent. I like that. Uh, Mishka, thank you so much. Mishka, am I saying that right? Thank. Uh, uh, I know for sure how much you covered your officers to seek psychologists with the. Oh yes, yes, it was a horrific crime. And those children. Wow. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you. Scroll back up just a minute. I got Latoya. One more up. I got Miss Cox. Okay, I said hi to Carrie. Very good. Latoya, thank you. Thank you both so much. That means the world to me. Thank you. Keep going. You're good. Wait a minute. Scroll back up again. Chief, you are a huge advocate in providing. Wow. Thank you, ma'am. That means a lot. Okay, Kim. What programs does Newport News have for the youth teenagers to keep our kids off the street? So, it's my last agency we had. If you're familiar with the Police Athletic League, PAL, it kind of started in New York. So when I got to town, I sit down with Sheriff Morgan. And I told him, man, I got a passion for youth. That's one of the big things for me. If you don't know me, it's youth and domestic violence are two things I'm really, really, very passionate about trying to address in our city. Uh, so I want to do this police athletic league, and I was telling him about it. And Sheriff Morgan, who's been here a lot longer than me, in my past agency, I think there were really two clubs, two boys and girls clubs. Here, there's like 7 or 8, and they're spread out throughout the city, and they're very, very active. So I don't want to compete against that. So instead of creating that whole thing, we kind of joined with the Boys and Girls Club. So that's one thing. I want officers interacting with our youth and interacting with our community. Two, we started a basketball league. We've done a kickball league. We did a basketball league for 3 years where we take middle school boys. We do 3-on-3 tournament, half court. Referees came in. We had 5 on a team, 3 on a court at a time. We played our games and then kind of had a tournament at the end. And after it, not just a lecture, but like a 15-minute conversation as we brought in food, whether it was Chick-fil-A or pizzas, and just sat down after the games and ate and just had conversations, right? So it's those type things and partnering. Every Friday when football season, I was at the football games and I saw more and more officers. We have like a master police officer program. And before it was, take so many classes and you can advance. So we changed that structure. Instead of some of the classes, I want you to have community service hours, right? What's important here is that I want our officers to interact with the citizens of Newport News, to interact with our community, and one of the best ways to do that is with our youth. Attending sporting events, going to schools, having interaction, doing the summer programs, the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA, youth football, those type things. So it's trying to partner with what's already out there, create some things, and what resources can we do to work together. I just think that's important. So that's some of the things, some of the programs that we have. We're talking about some others. I'm partnering with some churches to create safe spaces, churches and Achievable Dreams. I think we're looking at setting a place aside where kids can come just to get off the street and be around, whether it's mentor, helping people with homework, just providing a safe place. We're also looking at maybe some midnight basketball. Now that's not really like midnight 1, 2 in the morning, right? But it's late basketball where we can just interact. I think those things are important. So really, it's more and more exposure. We also have the Young Adult Police Commissioner program here. We do some things inside the schools, and I'm looking to. I was actually talking to Mr. Gwynn, our Commonwealth Attorney, about it over the weekend. And I met, like I said, with myself and Dr. Parker. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag on that too much, but we do have a Young Adult Police Commissioner program. We have a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior from every high school. So this 6 that we have in the city, 6 times 4 is 24. We have 24 kids. And I think actually somehow we got 30 this year, but that's great. We didn't turn anybody away. And these aren't kids that are honor roll students, right? These are kids that want to interact and that we need some interaction that were referred to us by the SROs, the guidance counselors, teachers, security officers, principals, and they have some challenges. But we meet every Wednesday. We spend 3 hours. They like to eat, and not just pizza all the time. I learned that Chick-fil-A is always seems to be a favorite. It's funny when we feed them that I seem to get these officers from all over the department that come by to interact with them and hang out. Chief Grinstead and I like to eat with them, so have a good time. But we have, we talk about diversity, we talk about equality, we talk about what our city should look like, our police department, what they expect from their school system, some of the challenges of being youth today. We talk about dangers in social media. Last week we had Kelly King. We've had reporters in the past come in and teach students how to do interviews. We have student Cameron, who's on here tonight, has gone to just about every city council meeting over the last year. He's a high school kid, and he goes to city council meeting to learn because he's heard us talk about it. They've talked to the mayor, and I'll tell you, any event that you see the police department do in Newport News, whether it's a promotion ceremony, an award ceremony, a memorial service, national night out, a graduation, there's always a teenager as one of the guest speakers. I'm trying to send a message to the students, the community, the young people of our community that they matter to me. But I'm also sending a message to the men and women who wear this uniform. The young people matter to me. That's our future, and we have to make an investment there. Kim, I hope that answered your question. Robin, it's okay not to be okay. Just tell us. Yes, Robin, that's a great quote. Very, very true. Dottie, great support and care. Dottie, thank you. That means a lot. Joe, always said my door is always open for any officer anytime. Wow, food coffee. Wow, that's awesome. Just look for the flags. Joe, I appreciate that, man. That's important. And it's good for our officers to see some of these posts. That means a lot. I appreciate that, sir. You have big shoulders and bear a heavy load, but you don't with so much class and fortitude. Wow, thank you so much. So I will tell you, I'm humble. I give all the credit to the men and women who work in this agency, sworn and civilian, and the citizens of this city who want Newport News to continue to advance. This is a great city. We've got great opportunities. I will tell you, I'm a man of faith, and I think God has blessed our city. I've seen some of the things that have happened in other cities across our country, and I think our relationship with our citizens and our youth. Do we get it right all the time? Absolutely not. I make more mistakes than anybody I know. But what I do know is that the men and women who work in this, for the most part, have a passion for people. And I know I've got to set the tone for that. But people matter to me, and I am humbled and fortunate to work with such a great mayor, a great city council, city manager. I have a relationship with the city manager and the assistant city manager. I talked to them over the weekend, just interacting, right? Sharing with them some things that have gone on in the city, checking on them. They're checking on me. They're checking on the department, and that's not everywhere. That's not, and I believe that we are very, very blessed. So I appreciate that. But I also try to stay very, very humble. And I know the men and women that wear this uniform, sworn civilian people in records, are fantastic dispatchers, officers that work through the night, are people in media relations that take calls from our community, interact with our media, trying to promote this department, get out the good messages, to recruit and bring good people in. They get the credit. They certainly deserve it, and I am just fortunate to work with them. Winnie, did you get my email? Do I have the correct email address? I sent you 3. When I did get the email. I think 2 of them were the same, and I thought I emailed back. So I may have not sent it to the right person, but I needed some clarification. So maybe we can hook up, have a phone conversation, just to make sure making sure that I'm understanding clearly what you're asking me. I didn't want to get that wrong. Mr. Coker, Chief, you and your staff are trendsetters of the state. Wow. So Mr. Coker is part of DCJS, Department of Criminal Justice Services. So in short, they do a lot of different things, but one of the primary things is they overlook at all the training and the requirements across this state of Virginia to be a police officer or a sheriff, right? To be able to be a police officer. We're meeting all the training mandates set by the state to be a law enforcement officer in the state of Virginia. So I have asked him to come down and take a look at our department. He knows some of our academy staff and recruits better than I do. Mr. Coker comes to our promotion ceremony, our award ceremonies, comes to our memorial service. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to ask him to speak at one of our upcoming graduation ceremonies for our recruits, because I think it's important that people from this community hear from other than just me about the Chief, you're supposed to say that. Well, then let me show you a man and a division that works across our state. And I'm not comparing us to any other department, but what I am saying is when we talk about, in his post, he talks about innovation, it's, a use of force review board that, all this stuff about oversight. Well, it needs to be all citizens. No, it should be all law. You know what, we mix. We have a use of force review board that sees every time an officer uses force. 5 citizens, 4 officers. So that's 9, right? So it can never be a tie. And none of this, I'm not going to vote, right? Everybody votes. And those 9 determine if the officer's actions were in policy, if they were out of policy, or if they were in policy, but maybe we could do something with training. I do ask that they go through the Citizens Academy so they understand what use of force is, they understand the laws, they understand our training. We have members of our police academy that are here, and the citizens and officers can ask the academy instructors anything they want. Nothing's off the table. Why do we tase this way? Why do we carry this ass baton? What does our OC do? What are kick stops? Why would we use leg shackles sometimes? What do we do if someone's spitting in an officer's face? Why? It's more than just a 30-second clip on Facebook of 4 officers with an individual. Oh, look, they're beating somebody up. All of our officers have body-worn cameras, the first in the state. And we have the full 6 minutes of an individual who's going through a mental crisis and trying to hurt themselves, and 4 officers try to prevent him from hurting himself. Not wrestling with, trying to prevent him from hurting himself. And to see that. And then we allow and, in fact, encourage officers to come to that use of force review board and explain. So here's the body-worn camera, here's the footage, but I want to tell you what was going through my mind, what I heard on dispatch, what I felt, what I thought might happen, where I was looking at my surroundings. And the citizens on the panel, the 9, and the officers, they can ask that officer any question they want. So that's those type things as we look at training, maybe changing our qualification course, bringing more training in, taking the recruits out of the class for a week and letting them do community service. 1, to show how valuable that is in our department, getting a break from the in classroom, and then taking them out for a week and letting them ride along with an officer for midway through so they understand some of the concepts that we're trying to teach. There's civilianized some positions in our department. We have a domestic violence division with 2 civilians in it. We have second responders, which are social worker type individuals that work for us that we pay, that work here at nighttime when we need them to respond. They're here. We have a CARES team that responds to mental illness. Our city manager and mayor and city council wanted us to find something alternative. And as the state tries to find a way, the Marcus alert system, right, how better respond to mental illness, we're doing that. I think we're one of 2 departments that have a program that the state's looking at. So, Mr. Coker, for you to take the time and be here tonight, it means the world to me. And, you know, we have some pretty hard conversations, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate your input and advice and how we look to try to make this department, this profession better. And I appreciate that. So, if anybody wants to give him a hard time, his office is up at the state capitol up in Richmond. He tries to send me a gas bill every time he comes down to look. I just have to take him to dinner every now and then. Big Mac and French fries will do it. That'll do it. But I appreciate you, Mike. I really do, and all that you do for this department, what you do for the state, and what you do for our citizens here. It matters. I appreciate that. Dottie. Yes, prayer vigil is coming up on it's Sunday, right? The vigil is Sunday on the 23rd. Pretty sure that's a Sunday. It was supposed to be last Saturday, but the weather. No, it was supposed to be last Sunday, and the weather was really bad, so they moved it. So, like I said, I am a man of faith. And on Sunday, we're going to get together. I think there's 7 or 8 pastors, I believe, that are just going to pray for peace over our city and into some of the violence that we had seen in December. But really just across, I think, Hampton Roads, if I'm not mistaken. I know several of the pastors that will be there. I plan to attend and just receive a blessing, I think, for being there. And I do believe that God makes a big difference, and I believe He has really blessed this city and this department. So yeah, if any, and I think it's open to anyone, but it is at Todd Stadium. It was going to be on the outside, but I think now we're inside Todd Stadium. Tammy, thank you very much. That means a lot. I appreciate that. Thanking volunteer work for. What's your thoughts on this program? Dottie, give me a little bit more information. I want to make sure I understand what you're asking me. Yeah, just help me make sure we're on the same page there. Cameron, go ahead, Sarah. Yeah.
It's the Advocates for Children.
What's it stand for?
Cases court-appointed special advocate. They're advocates for children victims.
So Dottie, Sarah, who's helping me out today, keeping me out of trouble, right? Make sure I don't touch anything. She showed me a little bit about the advocates for children, but is it an independent? Do you work with it? Or is it an independent organization? Is it a nonprofit? Or just help me a little bit with that. But I will tell you, I think it's important that sometimes when we talk about how to make things better, it's, well, what can the police department do? And I think that's the wrong footing right away. I think it's got to be, what can different resources do? And I think a lot of that is educating ourselves and learning about different resources. I learned about so many new things in this city that we have and different grassroots organizations, the things that they're trying to do that, oh, man, I wish I would have known. We could have partnered together. Well, Chief, we're trying to do this, but we don't have enough manpower, or we don't have a location. We needed some, whatever it might be. So, yeah, I think the more resources we have attacking social issues, I think is huge. I think it's huge. Cameron, I'm going to ask Sarah to scroll down for me just a little bit. I highly recommend we learn a lot. They learn from us, and we have Cameron talking about the Young Adult Police Commissioners Program, and he's absolutely right. It's set up to break the barriers down between youth and police. But I will tell you, we learn as much from young people. I learn as much from young people as I think they ever, half of what they learn from us. And man, so I'll bring this up. So yesterday, Monday, as we celebrated Martin Luther King, his service to our country and commitment, I partnered with Mayor Price and Sheriff Gabe Morgan at the food bank. Now, the food bank donations were down about 18% this year, so they were really trying to push and encourage people to come out. So I did it last year, and I'll tell you, it was cold. You follow me? It was cold. This year, I had to recruit class, And I asked a couple of the young adult police commissioners, I think there were 10 or 12 students on a Monday, on a day off from school, that came out from 9 o'clock till 1 in the afternoon and received food that people brought in. And there were fraternities, there were churches, there were organizations, there were individuals that came by, and we would go out, we would take their food, weigh it, so we were able to determine how much had overall had been donated. Some people gave money and checks, and then they went in inside the food bank and sorted, right, canned goods and breakfast foods and box food. The recruit class and teenagers that came out to work with the police department. And then that's not to mention myself and the 3 assistant chiefs that were there. I did a great job of supervising that, I'm telling you. I was on it. We're all bundled up, and I've got officers coming by that are working, that are stopping by, helping out for an hour, interacting with the community. That's what I'm talking about. So when Cameron, when he talks about, as we learn from each other, man, you get to know these young people, man, and they just have such a heart. And I'll tell you, you get attached to them. And we have some that have graduated the program and are in college. We have some that have graduated the program, went to school, and now work for us over in property and evidence. And we even have some that have joined this police department. And I'll tell you, man, I love those kids. I try to make all those meetings. Sometimes I get pulled away, but at the end of the year, we have a swearing in. Circuit Court Judge Flythe has sworn them in, and she has some very, very powerful words to them and encourages them and the responsibilities that they have. We have a celebration, a gala at the end of the year, and a Christmas party, and yeah, movie night. They got to explain to me some of these superhero movies. I can't follow them, but we have a good time. And it's just, the more and more that you interact with someone, when you talk about community engagement, it's really about communicating and building relationships. And I think anytime you can have a conversation, it trumps confrontations. And I think that's what all of us have to work on, John, does Youngkin being governor mean more resources for you? John, we've had a good relationship. I look at the resource that we have in our city. I think some of it is our own detriment, that we don't communicate enough, that we don't share what we're doing, or we realize, wow, I wish I would have known that a year ago. I wish I would have known that. As our new governor was sworn in, right, over the weekend, I got to see some of his speech. So we'll just kind of look and see how things go. But I'll tell you, we have a lot of resources here. I think the challenge, at least for me, is making sure that we're partnering with those resources, that they know what we do, right? We're communicating, and that we know what they can do, and finding ways that we can interact together, right? And just kind of working through. We're all trying to do the same thing, make our city better, improve our neighborhoods, improve our youth, and decrease crime, and help people with opportunity. So I think we just kind of have to look at that and communicate, break down some silos and walls. One of the things I would like to see, legislative-wise, is some of the issues that schools can't share information with us on some things, we can't share information with them. Same thing with some medical, that if they're treating someone, they can't. I'd like to break down that. I think we're all trying to do the same thing, and I think the more we talk and share information, not, hey, guess what I heard, but you know what? This individual is missing school. He's been treated for abuse at the hospital. We know he issues with the police are called to the house. All 3 different entities are touching that same young man, but we might be trying to fix things in several different ways. So I'd just like to see us work closer together, information-wise. Zakia, when the increase in homicides in Newport News as well as Tidewater in general, what are you doing to ensure that detectives don't see these lies as another case? My nephew, Mr. Carter, was murdered in 2021. I can't help but believe his case being viewed as another case. Well, let's talk directly to you then. First of all, I am very, very sorry for your loss, as I am for the other 30 individuals that lost their life in this city. I go to every one of those homicides. I may miss one here or there if I'm out of town, but I try to go to every one of those homicides. And I get briefed on every one. One of the first things I did when I came to Newport News is I changed our structure. We had 7 homicide detectives, and those 7 detectives were overworked. Their caseload, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And it's not their fault. It was just the way we were set up. But 7 homicide detectives that went to every homicide, every shooting in our city, every overdose, every suicide, and any death. Well, how that's a heavy workload, And that's just talking about that year. What about the cases that are unsolved from the colder cases, right, that are unsolved from that year or the year before? So we changed our structure. Now we have 10 homicide detectives, 8 that focus on the homicides that we have in the current year, and 2 that try to focus on older cases, so we don't pass those along. Then we created an aggravated assault division, so now we have 8 detectives that focus on the shootings, the stabbings, or a bad beating. So instead of 7, we now have 18, and I was just talking to the assistant chief over investigations that I would like to even increase that by 2 more. Now, some of that has hurt us because of staffing, but I will tell you, every police department in the state of Virginia, across the country, have to report their numbers to the FBI. And they set what's called a national clearance rate, an average, meaning this is the average of homicides across the country. If you have these number of homicides, this is how many the average is being cleared. For the last 3 years, it's been 62.3%. 62% of homicides should be cleared. So if we have 10 homicides, you should clear 6. This year, for the first time in 3 or 4 years, the national clearance rate dropped from 62%. It just came out the other day. It's like 48.9, 49%, just below 50%. That means that homicides increased and the number of clearance rates dropped, the number of cases cleared. So how do we ensure that what we're doing, that we just don't not another case? I can tell you that's not the case here, because I go to those scenes and I see families and I see neighborhoods and communities and I see kids that live in that community. I can tell you our clearance rate here is right at 70%. The national average is below 50, and our clearance rate is right around 69 or 70%. The way we staff, compassion we have a homicide support group that is made up of officers and detectives, and any family member, I don't care if it's Newport News, wherever, but any family member who's lost someone to a homicide in this city or wherever. We have one family that comes with us that moved here from Oakland, California. Their son was killed in Oakland, California, and they come to that group. They help each other. They help different families get through birthdays and anniversaries and Christmases and holidays. Thanksgiving, right? You know what else they do? Victims' families of homicide talk to us and tell what they need from officers when we're dealing with the family. Because just when, it's a long process from the initial incident to investigating that, to preparing for court, and then after. To have all those things set up, they matter. Now, I wish we had 100% clearance rate, and I wish we didn't have any homicides in our city. And I will tell you, there's probably 4 or 5 homicides right now that we can make arrests on. We know who did those murders, but the witnesses don't want to come forth and testify. So we have to find another way. We have to try to find some evidence or get information from them to try to verify what they're saying. But when people don't want to come forward, it makes it difficult. So I don't know if that answers your question. The other thing, we had 4 or 5 forensic technicians. So our forensics, right, if you watch the TV shows, they're the ones that process the crime scene, collect the evidence, fingerprints, blood samples, all those things. We had 5 when I got here. 5. Today we have 10. So where have I invested? I've invested to try to solve those cases, to put the investigators there, to decrease their caseload, to more detectives there, because those cases matter to me. And on the back end, I'm trying now to do our narcotic side of the house, on our gang side of the house, and staff it more than what I have there. So I've got the incidents occur, a homicide, a shooting occurs, we clear it. We'll try our best to clear it and make an arrest. I know that doesn't bring anyone back, but it does add some closure. And then the other side, to being proactive, that we do the best we can to remove firearms from our community, to get ahead of the game, to know what groups or what gangs or what individuals are going back and forth. Our homicides increased. We kind of went, if my numbers are right, we went from I think it's 26, 25, 24, 25, and this year we had 30. Or last 2021 we had 30. So we had an increase of 5, but our clearance rate is 70%. So those cases matter to me. I get a briefing twice a year on every open homicide case we have. And every Thursday we have a CompStat meeting and then an Intel meeting. and then a ComStat meeting, and an Intel meeting. So every Thursday from 1 to 3, it's a large, we have detectives, precincts, all the captains. There's probably 50 people in the room. And on the ComStat meetings, we're talking bigger issues of crime, where crime is occurring, in what precinct, what neighborhood, what area, what is that crime? In the Intel, so crime may be, let's say, in this area in North Precinct, we've seen an increase of burglaries. We've had 4 burglaries in 2 weeks in the same neighborhood. The Intel meeting, we're talking about, hey, Steve, we think he lives in that neighborhood. He's been arrested before for burglary, and we've had several citizens say they've seen him looking into windows at, 10 o'clock in the morning. So the ComStat is kind of looking at crime overall. Intel is more focused on people. So the Intel meeting, twice a month, every other Thursday, ComStat the off Thursdays. But the Intel meeting is where we talk about those homicides, those cases. If someone has a warrant on file, it doesn't matter to me if we have a great relationship with the U.S. Marshals, if we have to go out of state to find that individual. Where's our forensics evidence? Where's the case stand? What's the next steps? So that's important. So I make it a priority, but I know we're not going to solve 100%, but we're going to try to. And we don't close any case. I wish we had more citizens that would come forward and be willing to testify, but I understand their concerns. I do. I get that. But I want to assure you, I hope what I've shared with you, and those detectives, I see them work through the night. I see that they don't go home. I see that sometimes we have to send them home. They've been there 48 hours. They're exhausted, but they're staying on those leads, right, for a reason, because it matters. Someone lost a loved one. Some neighborhood experienced tragedy. Some family has lost someone. And that matters to me. So I didn't mean to take too long, but I want you to know. I want you to know that Devin matters to me. Yes, I taught at Achievable Dreams in Critterton, 25 plus years. And I love what you're saying. It's not about the honor roll students. It's about all children. Yes, all people matter. All people have value. And I think everybody brings something to the table. Thank you so much. The question I have pertaining to an active protective order. How do I make contact outside of the live Q&A? So the question. So if you want to send me a phone number, just send your name and a message or a phone number. I think, Sarah, we can get that from instant message, and I can shoot you a call. I'll call you right after this one, after I get done here at the session, if you'd like, and kind of talk a little bit about it. If I'm tracking you, if I'm following you correctly. Dottie, my pastor will be great, outstanding. Working with the courts, I believe, being a source to support kids in crisis. Oh, absolutely. No, I think, Dottie, I think that's great. I think there's a lot of great programs, and I'm sure I don't know all of them. I learn about programs that nonprofits, grassroots organizations, the Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA, the people that they have working there, a lot of things that our churches are doing. I got an email from a youth pastor earlier today talking about things that they like to do over spring break, already making plans. So I like that. And I'm excited that they like us to be a part, and how can we partner with them? That's perfect. Angela, so very thankful for you and your staff. I pray for you all day. Wow, thank you. I just received my acceptance letter to the Citizens Police Academy. I'm so grateful and support, excited to be part of the class and learn. I will tell you, Angela, it is a great, Monica White, don't tell her, but Monica White, she knows how I feel about her. She's phenomenal. And the class she puts on, the students love her. She is so energetic. She's so into the citizens that take part in that Citizens Police Academy. Anna Whalen, Anna Whalen with the Citizens Academy, the alumni groups. Man, they get it. They have such a passion for people and sharing with what this department is doing, so people are involved. I think it makes such a big difference when you're having those communications. Monica and Anna just do an amazing job. So Angela, you will love it. I'm telling you, look, when it's over, you'll be on here posting like, Chief, we should got to find a bigger way to support this and promote this. But it is a great event. It's a great, you'll learn, you have a lot of, you'll have officers and detectives, forensic technicians, internal affairs, the police academy that will come and tell you, this is how we teach. This is how we investigate. This is why we may do things at a crime scene. This is how long it takes to be a police officer. And it's just a really great opportunity for the citizens to learn about this department. And we also do it for youth. Don't forget the old ladies when you get the cold on Monday. Oh yeah, Anna, yeah. Thank you, Anna. So there was a lot of volunteers that also came out talking about the food drive. It was a great event. I had heard there was a lot of pictures. I was bundled up. A lot of us were, but yeah, it was a lot of fun interacting with our community and the donations. And some people wanted a 2-year-old little boy. So it's a food drive, right? And he gets out of the car and wants to give me a baseball. And man, crushed me. So great. Um, okay, gotcha. When will new application be taken? So I think I think the class starts in February. I think it's on our website if I'm not mistaken. But there's a Citizens Academy in February, and I think the dates are on there when you need to apply by. But I'll tell you what, we'll make some room. I don't like turning people away. Monica may get chief. It's okay. We'll do all right. If Dottie, if it's something you're interested in, or you know somebody's interested, please reach out to us and let us know. Because
Deadline is
when was the deadline?
January 13th.
The deadline was January 13th. So the deadline is tomorrow, right? So Dottie, if you're interested, let me know. I don't know how many, but I know the class fills up pretty quick, and we do 2 or 3 a year. It's just a really great opportunity. You really will learn a lot about this department and about law enforcement in general. Keith, when it comes to manpower issues, does the Newport News Sheriff's Office in any way do deputies assist at calls for service? So Keith, it's somewhat. They will, if they're on the road, they will take backs on calls. They're experiencing some shortages too. We have a great relationship. Sheriff Gabe Morgan's been the sheriff of this city for a long time. We have a really great relationship. We talk regularly. I'm a huge supporter. He's a mentor to me. He was giving me he was actually schooling me a little bit on Monday about all the things that the food bank does that I didn't know. So yes, we do have a great relationship. But they have their primary focus as well. I'm sure like up in Chesterfield. So, but yes, they do. If they're on the street, they hear a call, they will, if they're in the area, they will certainly help us. Or if they hear it's pending, they may even take that call. We have a really good relationship. Okay, got Kim. Keep up the great work, Chief. You seem to be sincere about your job. Well, Kim, I appreciate that. I try to be open and transparent. I had an interview today about ShotSpotter, and the reporter and I talked a little bit about what we were going to cover, and I explained to him I want to be as open and transparent as I can. There's some things I can't say. I don't want to hurt any pending cases or any things in neighborhoods that we're focusing on, or that individuals know that we're looking at. But I think for me, being open and transparent and opening the doors to this department, why we do what we do, and I think I have to set the tone for that. So I appreciate that, Kim. I'm trying. Anna's putting Monica's number out. Very good. Have I missed anybody, or am I doing okay? I'm doing all right. Doing good. Haven't forgotten anybody. Good. We talked about recruiting in the academy, what we're looking for, and the numbers we're trying to get. We talked about staffing. We did right before the end of the year, just before Christmas. We did a promotion ceremony. We promoted the new assistant chief, captain hires, now assistant chief hires. We did captains and lieutenants, and we promoted some sergeants. So we're in the process, but I didn't get them done before the ceremony. I had to wait for some test results to come back to see what the rankings were. So the reason I bring that up is we've promoted 7 or 8 sergeants. We've promoted some civilians. It is important that they have their day where their family pins them, puts their badge on them, or stands there with their certificate. So my plan is to do the sergeants and some citizen promotion ceremony in mid-February. That's just, I want everyone's promoted in place, but I want to make sure that they have that moment with their family, right? That photograph, that moment, and it matters. They earned it. They worked hard to get those promotions, and I could not be prouder of them. So I'm looking at doing that in mid-February. On January the 28th, about 10 days from now, we will do our end of the year press conference. I'll share with the media outlets here. I want to give you a secret. It's classified though. So we'll invite Channel 3, Channel 13. Wavy 10 News, and the Daily Press. But I'm going to invite another group this year. I think they're there. So when I was growing up in high school, we had like a school reporters, the school newspaper. So I'm going to reach out to Dr. Parker, and whether they have media outlets now, it's probably much more advanced than when we were in school. But school, if there's a reporter from a school, from each of our high schools or one high school, however, they would like to come and cover that press conference, and I will allow them to ask me questions about the press conference, and I'll answer it the best I can. Like I said, there's some things I can't, but for the most part, I'll talk about where we look like over the last 6 years, what are patterns and trends, what are some of the challenges we're having, some we've talked about tonight, what are we doing as we move forward. We're making a heavy investment in technology, and how some of those plays together, what are some of our strategies and initiatives that we have coming up that we're trying to implement. We'll be doing things covert and overt. I'll share with you the number of shootings that we've had this year, how it looks like over the last 6 years. I'll talk about the number of homicides that we just talked about. But look at those clearance rates. I believe that our clearance rates are above the national average in every in all the categories that they look at. But I want to be. Let me just pause here for a minute. Sometimes people will say, Chief, why are you just looking at numbers? Because we have to be evidence-based and data-driven. I can't just say, I feel, right? We have that instinct, but I want to be able to back that up. You heard me say it. I'm going to say it here. I'm going to say it at the press conference. Every one of those numbers is an individual or a situation that's occurred. It's a robbery or a burglary or a shooting, an assault, God forbid, a homicide. That affects families. It affects our communities and our neighbors. When I look at those trends and patterns, those crime numbers, if crime is going up, then our initiatives, our strategies, I have to tweak that. So if I tweak it and I see crime goes down, then this might be something I want to implement in other parts of the city or globally for the department. So that's why I look at those crime numbers and pay such. I'm not cold. I'm not shaded to realize I know what those numbers represent. I'm at those scenes. I know what those numbers. I get briefed on those. I know what they represent. But to look at them globally, where's our crime? Is Newport News crime dropping? Is it increasing? Is it staying the same? Are we clearing those cases? Do I need more staffing? Do we need to try different tactics? Is this strategy working? Hey, did we learn about this from one of our sister cities and we can implement that here? We get calls all the time from other departments. How's your domestic violence unit working? How are you dealing with the social workers that are on staff? How are you responding to mental illness calls? And the same thing, we'll call other departments here in our state, in the Hampton Roads area, across the country. So that press conference is on the 28th. I just wanted to share that with you. We'll live stream that. So if you'd like to attend, that's fine. But we'll live stream it so you can watch it. It'll be recorded. I think it's important to share with the community what we're doing. On the but man, I don't want to get this wrong. I'm going to be doing a presentation for some pastors on the 25th. I have a meeting coming up with Black Lives Matter and area chief. We're going to sit down and just have a conversation. I wanted to meet with schools. I've done that. I'm going to meet with Mr. Gwynn, do that, and then we'll do the press conference. Now, at the end of the week, the end of the last week in January, last couple of days, I'm going to be driving to Albemarle, North Carolina. I'm going to see our Captain Bullhurst, now Chief Bullhurst of Albemarle, North Carolina. I want to see him get sworn in and just pay our respects, and we'll just kind of fade away. But I want to show my support, and I'm so proud of him, and that's important. Did I hit everything? Thank you. I sure will. Hopefully, we'll be able to get. Okay. One of the things I want to say before I leave and sign off here, and I appreciate those that have commented tonight and spent time with me. I know life's busy and things go 100 miles an hour, and those that are on or watch later, I appreciate you. I try to do this to just be open and transparent. But on December 19th, we got some very bad news. One of our sergeants passed away. Sergeant Jerry Luce. His last assignment was a sergeant in South Precinct. He was a beloved member of this family, of this community, and this organization. He did over 25 years in this department, and he served the citizens of this city. And we had his memorial service at First Baptist Church I want to thank the pastor and the congregation for allowing us to use your beautiful place of worship, your church there. I want to thank Chaplain Satchel for helping us put that together, the honor guard, the citizens that came out, the officers that showed up to pay our respects, even retired officers, some who came from out of state. That matters. And Jonna, his significant other, John, I want you to know we love you. I hope that we did justice and gave a fitting memorial to Jerry. I hope he would be proud, and I hope you and his family that we were able to, we can't change anything, but just show you how much that you all matter and that Jerry mattered. And this, his life, his 25 plus years of service made a difference in this city. It impacted officers that worked for him and that worked with him, and he made a difference. He made things better. He was my friend. We teased each other all the time, but I enjoyed it, and I miss you, Jerry. And I just hope that your family and that we did, and Jonna, that we did our due diligence to give him a fitting memorial. So last, oh wow, thank you. Ben, I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Dottie, Dottie, thank you. That means the world to me. Keith, I appreciate you, my friend. That means a lot. You're always, man, you're such a friend and to work with and just share information with. I look forward to seeing you back up in Ashland again, my friend. So it was, as I close, just a message to, we're in a new year. I'm glad. I'm excited about being a new year. Some challenges that we had and dealing with the pandemic. I know it's hard, but I want to thank the men and women who still come to work, who do this profession, sworn and civilian both. They care about this community, about this city. The new recruits that are starting, I hope you feel what we're trying to do here. I hope now is every interaction with a citizen perfect? Absolutely not. Do we make mistakes? Yes. Is it okay to say we're sorry? Yes, and we should. There are not a lot of people that want to do this line of work. There are not a lot of people that want to do this commitment. I get calls from communities that want, Chief, we need more traffic enforcement in our community. There's so much speeding here. So we put traffic enforcement there, and I wonder if anyone can guess who we find doing a lot of the speeding in the community. And then sometimes people get upset. Officers it's a hard job. It's a hard job. It's easy sometimes to sit back and look at a officer's body-worn camera and be able to pause it, review it, slow it down, speed it up, rewind it. Officers there at 2:30 in the morning, they have to make a split decision. They don't get to put things in slow motion. We give them the best training we can. We try to bring in the best officers we can, but there are times we're going to make mistakes. Are traffic stops always the best encounter? No. We're hiring. If you want to come join us, we're hiring. Help us do it better. Join this police department. But my commitment to this city, the city that I love, the city that I serve, is to try to make this department better today than we were yesterday and better tomorrow than we are today, through training, to bringing the right people in, for holding people accountable, for working with our community, to sharing information, to retaining talent, but creating an environment where what we rose our right hand for, to serve and protect, are the citizens of this community, the youth of this city, the best commodity we have. To admit when we make mistakes, to be open and transparent, and continue to strive to do better. Go to bed and come up to work the next day, whether it's the day shift, the evening shift, or the midnight shift, to do the best job we can. So I appreciate all those that joined tonight. See you on the course for the marathon, Ben. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be there. We will be there. I think that's important. It's a good event in our city. I was just talking to Owen, who helps coordinate that. So it'll be a good time. So man, 7:00? Look, I'm getting old. 7:03. So I apologize for going a little over. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Hope I didn't go too far off topic. We talked about our promotion ceremony, our staffing. We talked about the academies. We mentioned our friend Sergeant Lewis and Memorial Service, our recruiting efforts, and our year-end numbers. And then I try to share a little bit with you that what we'll be going to as we go in upcoming in January and February, or at the end of January, and we move on into February and towards the summer. So again, thank you so much. Look out for each other. Stay warm. I understand we're going to get some possibility of getting some snow in the next couple of days, so please be careful. Be careful in the neighborhoods. Look out for one another, and we'll do this again next month. God bless you all. Thank you so much for your time.